Welcome back to the CryptoLabs YouTube channel. We're going to have a bit of a conversation on this Saturday afternoon about things, about success, about material things, material success, financial success, and break some myths. This is a conversation that most people don't want to have or they avoid, or they're like, oh, I don't have that problem. But their external world shows me differently. They're not living in abundance. They don't have money. They don't drive the car they want. They don't live where they want. They don't have the financial success that they want, yet they think they don't have a problem in this area. I will put my hand up and say, I have a problem in this area. There's always the next level of this problem. And this share starts with a quick story. Yesterday I'm at the coffee shop, and this actually inspired today's video because I've been thinking about it. Because I know I was that guy, but I was at the coffee shop. I daily drive an R8. We'll get into all this in a second here because you don't know how much work it took me to become okay, become the person who drives an R8 or wears a presidential Rolex and is okay with it, feels no shame about it. I want to talk about this because literally this took me 5-6 years of work to actually tune into, and when I did, life really opened up. So I'm at the coffee shop. Drove the R8, and two guys come up to me when I'm getting out of the car, and they're like, love the car, and I love sharing the car with people, right? I'm like, yeah, this thing's awesome, blah, blah, blah. Then they asked, what is it you do? That's usually the first thing someone will ask is, what is it you do? Typically, they mean for work. And I said, oh, business. I just simplified. I'm not like investor in crypto and Defi. I'm just like, oh, just business, And they're like, okay, cool. And then they say, what would I have to do to get a car like this? And they never ask the question. No one will ask the question, who do I have to become? It's always, what do you do? How would I do it? What are the steps? Many times we know the steps, but we haven't become it. We're not human doings, we're human beings. And here's what I want to bring up. You are not bad. Please repeat after me. You are not a bad person for wanting material success. You are not a bad person for wearing a Rolex. You are not a bad person for driving a sports car. You are not a bad person for going on holiday and staying in a nice hotel or whatever it is you're into. You're not a bad person. Money is not evil. Money is not bad. Money is not the root of all evil. People who are wealthy or rich are not evil. In fact, they're some of the nicest, most kindest, giving people I have met. Because their whole life isn't centered around money. It's so interesting to me that people who have been the most difficult in my life, who have created the most problems, who were literally, they were the ones who didn't have money. They're the ones who oftentimes will cheat or steal or lie, or the craziest things happen. And I don't blame them for it. If we're in scarcity, that's going to happen. But as we create a life of abundance and money is the last thing we think about, it changes everything. And I think most people are inherently good. So when they get money, they're good. They do good things with it. Hollywood and movies and news and media has just takes out a very small percentage of people and shows, hey, look at the sick and twisted life of the rich. That's the exception, not the rule. At least from my experience. I also do think we're a mirror, so we bring in who we and what we are, but that's a whole different story. Anyways. And so it took me a long time to be okay with wanting a Rolex. Now, some people who don't understand this will look at me and say, oh, you're so shallow, you wear a Rolex, blah, blah, blah. If this fell off my wrist and it got lost in the mud, I wouldn't care. It's not a status symbol. It's a reminder of who I had to become. And I remember asking myself, who would I have to be in order to wear a Rolex as just like my everyday watch? Who would I have to become? And there's a lot of work that happens in there. Or the R8, 2 years ago, I said, who would I have to become to daily drive, an R8? Who would I have to become? And I've got 2 or 3 of these goals also in different areas in my life or for the next level of abundance and success, but it signifies. It is a symbol not of status, because F that, all of this crap is fake. This is a piece of metal. Well, it's gold, but it's not worth as much as you pay for it. And the car in 100 years, unless it's really well preserved, is going to be a rusted piece of crap. I am not a better than someone because I drive an R8. I don't have higher status because I wear a watch. I'm no better. And if we make these material things about filling a hole or wanting status or wanting people to see us in some way, it's going to be a never-ending, never enoughness. I know because I've experienced that and I've gone through this journey. But the second it becomes a symbol, a reminder of who the F you are, who you had to become, the game changes. Because it's no longer about this stuff. It's no longer about it. It's not even about achieving a goal. $100 a day, $250 a day, $500 a day. We tell clients, and I've had this conversation with some members, is like, hey, so your next goal is 500 a day or whatever they're working towards. Maybe they're at 250 and they want to double it to 500 per day. I'm like, cool. Now let's set a goal or a target, an external representation of it. Let's ask the question who you'd have to become. And when they get to $500 a day and they buy that thing or they get that watch or they go on that holiday or it doesn't matter what it means. It's not about the thing. It's not about the watch. It's not about the car. It's just a reminder of who we had to become, and there's no coming back from that. Once you upgrade your identity and it is just, this is my standard. I just drive an R8. It's not, that's just, it's just the norm. There's no going back from it. And I think life, all of these external goals and targets we set, whether we know it or not, are really just fancy or hidden or indirect ways of achieving mental, physical, spiritual, emotional growth. That's it. Which is why, and I've been told this, I'm like, dude, you're too ambitious. It's not about the damn thing at all. It's about who I become in the process. That's what I value the most, because the car and this watch and all of this can be stripped away tomorrow. Some rules can change, regulations can change, I don't know, whatever could happen. And it gets stripped away tomorrow. But what doesn't is who I became in the process, the skills and the internal programming, who I became. You can't take that away from me. And I think people forget that because, again, they watch Hollywood movies or they just have this idea of, oh, those people with the material success, they're just shallow. I'm sure there's a few of them who are stuck in a bubble and it's like they're not even aware of much. But for the most part, most people I meet who see success, they're extremely self-aware. They're spiritual as F. Like they're spiritual warriors, because to get to that level, you have to go through so much crap, so much pain, and so much growth. And so if you have been feeling some shame or guilt from other people or from yourself, being like, I have this goal, but I kind of feel bad about it, that incongruency and that sort of opposing thoughts there, I want this, but I feel bad for wanting it, it's going to level itself out and you're never going to achieve that which you desire. We've got to change the subconscious. And if you think about it, 90% of our life is run by our subconscious. That is both a scary and an exciting thought, because most of what we do, we don't even know why we're doing it. But if we can start reprogramming the subconscious and upgrading our identity, all of a sudden, life starts changing. And this isn't like over a decade. This is like over the next 24 hours, you will see external representation, external hints and clues that, oh my God, I am on the right path, if you actually listen, which most people aren't even willing to. It is okay for you to want what you want. It's okay. And if we make it about who do we have to become in order to achieve whatever, that's where the game actually starts, and that's where the game actually gets fun, and you're no longer attached to the result, but you are focused on who you have to become. The whole game changes. The waking up with anxiety or feeling like, I don't have yet what I want goes away, because you're so focused on the process and the becoming. I'm going to end it here, but I try to, like when dudes or when people come up and they're like, oh, car, watch, whatever. It's a conversation starter sometimes too. Man, I want one so bad. And I'm always like, who do you have to become? And typically they're just like, what? But like, that is the game. Who would you have to be? What skills are you missing? How do you have to see the world differently? How are you operating right now that is out of alignment and congruency with who you'd have to become? Could you get clear on who you have to be? And then you wake up every day and you do your best to stay in alignment with that new version of you. And at night, you just look, how did I do today? Was I the person I said I was going to be? And there will be ceilings. There will be, it is not easy. It's why most people, they stay in the 99%. And I say that with respect, but they're not willing. They're not willing to work through that. In my mind, I kind of see like that chasm, that valley, that difficult period where, whoa, we are changing everything we've ever believed and the way we've operated. We're literally shaping and creating someone new. It is not easy. There's a lot of you, parts of you that are going to have to die. And it is not easy because we've had those parts with us all of our life and now we have to kill them. Like literally, we kill parts of ourselves. And that process is not easy. And I know because I'm always going through that process. Always. But part of me has to die. I want this for you so bad. I want this for you so bad. But there's 99% of the time, even if you have coaches and mentors, you're doing this alone. You know, I can't pick up the fork for you and put it in your mouth. It's going to be a daily thing. It's not like, oh, I just figured this out and now I'm good. It is a daily thing. For me too. I still have habits from like a long time ago that I'll find myself like, oop, Lucas, you have a choice right now. You either do that thing or you go the other way. You do this. You know what's better for you. Okay, you know what? And it's not easy every single time. And I still fall into the old ways. And when I do, life pumps the brakes on me. It gives me the lesson I need to hear. Oh, I could talk about this forever, but I'm going to let this go. I really hope this helped or served in some way. Like and subscribe to this channel. You know we talk crypto, DeFi, investing, but personal development, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual development is the center, the core of what we do, whether people know it or not. And I can't help but slip this kind of stuff in there because this is what matters. I got a phone call coming in. That's my alarm for the phone call. With that said, appreciate you. And like this video, subscribe to this channel, all that cool stuff that the cool YouTubers say. And hopefully this was of value to you. And with that said, we'll see you in the next video. I will put some videos up here for your viewing pleasure. I'll do some personal development, money mindset stuff, but I'll also do some crypto, DeFi, liquidity pools, yield farming, building a DeFi business videos there. So do check them out. With that said, I gotta go. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.